All right. So we have a Rabbit R1. Comes in this cool plastic case. Kind of nice if you want to store it and maybe not scratch the screen, but stand it up like that, which is kind of cool. All right. It's definitely yeah, this is the device. Got one button, got a scroll wheel, camera tucks away, speaker, has a SIM slot for just data, which is how you're gonna want to use it if you're gonna be walking around with it. Otherwise you have to tether it to your phone. USB-C, yeah. Press the one button here. Struggling to connect to my Wi-Fi. There, failed again. Yeah. For some reason, they don't let you use the touch screen, even though it's a touch screen. You have to use the button on the side. So, oh shoot, why did I try again? I should have done that. Right here. Oh my! Well, I'll tell you what, at least is pretty damn durable. I've dropped it like 3 times and I don't see a scratch yet. Besides the problems I'm having with connecting to Wi-Fi, this scroll wheel is kind of terrible. I understand, I think it's designed for right-handed use, where you use your thumb to scroll and then your thumb to push here, which I guess is fine. But this scroll wheel probably should have been, it's the same kind of, feels like the same plastic as the case, which looks cool, but it's too slippery and there's no feedback. There's no, if there was like a haptic clicky sensation, I feel like my thumb slides over it and I always question whether or not it's actually turning or not. See, look, it's not moving, and I press harder, it does move a little. Every once in a while it moves, but sometimes my thumb just slides over the plastic without actually pushing it over, and it feels so slow. Like I'm trying to go quickly, like look how long it takes me to scroll to the bottom, and it doesn't feel comfortable in my hand. I've dropped it more than once because I'm trying to scroll and my grip doesn't. I'm left-handed also, so like this is more comfortable for me. They even had a video where they said, you know, you could use it left-handed, where you hold it like this and you would use this finger for pushing a button and then you would use your finger in the back for scrolling. I was like, oh, that's cool, because I'm left-handed and that'd be great. But it feels so cumbersome holding it, like my hand is like in this weird cramped position just trying to hit that scroll wheel. And if I'm trying, look at how hard it is. It's even harder to scroll down. I feel like I'm gonna drop it every time I'm like adjusting to scroll. So it would be nice if I could just use my thumb. This is a touch screen. If I hold it, like if I go down to terminal, enable terminal, and how do I go back? I'll go home and I hold it this way. It's not working. So it has a keyboard. I don't even know how to bring it up now. See, I don't even know how to bring up the terminal anymore. But when you set it up to type in your Wi-Fi password, you have it sideways like this, and there's a touchscreen keyboard. And yeah, why can't I just scroll here and then hit this? And the scroll wheel could just be an option, you know? And I just don't use it because I'm left-handed. I think they want you to use it because it looks cool to have a scroll wheel, but I think it's form over function in this case, instead of thinking about the way people are going to use this. Oh yeah, you know, also just there's limitations to the integrations. There's only 4 integrations. Here, if we go to whole.rabbit.tech, log in, these are the connections. We have Spotify, Uber, DoorDash, and Midjourney. I haven't tried Midjourney yet, but I've seen plenty of people do it on YouTube. It seems pretty self-explanatory. It works all right. It takes a long time. DoorDash, I tried using it. It is painfully slow and just a terrible UI for trying to order food. It only really works if like you're ordering from some place, you know, where you get the same thing every time and you can just tell it to, you know, get 2 chicken tacos, but you don't need to make any sort of adjustments or anything. It's not very good. Uber, also a lot of the same issues. It's not the type of thing I want to just let this language model just do. I want to see different prices for, you know, different cars sometimes. Yeah, it's just not a good experience. Spotify, I don't have Spotify anymore. I switched to Apple Music, and Apple Music's not an option. Where's my option to teach it new things? It's not anywhere. The journal just has like entries of things that you've tried. This is useful because you can see pictures that you took using the rabbit eye vision, and then the text. Yeah, it didn't do very well. I asked what kind of case it thinks this is on my phone, and it thinks that it's an Ian Banks Accession phone case, because in the background, you can see in this picture here, I had this Ian Banks book that was behind my phone, and when I asked which phone case it thinks this is, which is a Peak Design iPhone 15 Pro case, it thinks I have an Ian Banks Accession phone case. So, yeah, not the best. And then settings, it's just profile and device. That's it. So, yeah, not very good. Leaves a lot to be desired. Oh, and also integrations. They showed us how we could teach it new integrations, and that was the biggest selling point to me, because I was thinking, oh, if there's anything I can't do out of the box, I can train it to do that. And so it has so much potential. And then I log into the website, and there's just 4 integrations, and there's no way to add new ones. I guess it's coming in a future update to their website. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty disappointing. Also, I haven't used it since yesterday, and it went from 100% charge to 57% just sitting overnight. So that tells you something about the battery life. I think there's going to be a firmware update, they were saying, soon to fix battery life. But yeah, right now it's pretty bad. I mean, in conclusion, I think the scroll wheel needs to be like a rubberized material, so it's easier to scroll. It needs to have haptic feedback in a way where it clicks either with real clicks, or if they don't want it to be like physical clicks, just have some kind of haptic thing that makes it feel like it's clicking. They should make it so that you could actually do swipes here if you're left-handed, and just, you know, let people choose to ignore the scroll wheel if they want to use the screen to scroll. And then fix the Wi-Fi issues. I only got it to work once yesterday, and now it refuses to connect to my Wi-Fi. So that's it for the Rabbit R1. I basically don't recommend it for anyone, not even early adopters, because I'm the early adopter type. I like to get this kind of stuff early and first, so that I can, be at the forefront of new tech and stuff. And I thought for sure this was going to be better than the Humane pin, and it is, I think, in some ways, but it's barely. I can't recommend it. I think we're gonna have to wait for version 2 of this, or WWDC's coming up in June, and before that, Google is having theirs. They're both probably gonna release some version of AI built into their operating systems, and so maybe Rabbit was just like, we need to get ours out before Google and Apple make this irrelevant. And I think yeah, I think this was, it's a little underbaked. So yeah, high hopes, but it doesn't live up to the hype, unfortunately.